Hi, and welcome to another episode of Coffee with Brendan. Today's video was inspired by a phone call I had with my mom last week. She's also a client, and when she calls me up and says that she's starting to get a little bit nervous about the markets and she's starting to look at her statements a little bit, I realize that there probably are some of you that are starting to feel similar to that and just haven't called me up to say that that you're getting a little bit nervous about things. So today's meeting or today's Coffee with Brendan is going to be a little bit of a pep talk for you. And, right out of the gates, I'll give you the disclaimer that what I'm about to talk about is historical in nature. When situations like today have happened, how has the market actually performed? Certainly not any kind of guarantee of future performance, but let's get started with something that LPL actually just recently put out. And this was from their May 16th, 2022 weekly market commentary. And right in the first paragraph, pretty much what they said was first quarter earnings were pretty good by any measure, but the market really isn't paying much attention to it. So much, and so how do they determine that? Page 2 of this, they're pretty much saying that of the, there are 500 companies that make up the S&P 500. And of those companies, 78% that have reported their profits and earnings from quarter one of 2022 have actually outperformed expectations. So long story short, 3/4 of the companies, of the biggest companies in the United States, have reported their profit margins and whatnot, even with inflation, even with labor shortages, even with supply chain challenges, even with all of those obstacles, 3/4 of them have outperformed their expectations. So long story short, if you look under the hood, the fundamentals of this market are actually pretty strong, but yet, of course, no one's paying attention to it. The media is not paying attention to it or anything. But again, these are the things that ultimately drive the market long term. And right now, business is actually doing pretty well in the United States. So let's switch gears and look at historically what has happened when the market, in this case, this is going to, well, last week was the 6th straight losing week for the S&P 500. So in other words, the last 6 weeks in a row, the S&P 500 has gone down, which is one of the main reasons why my mom called me, is that she's starting to see that over the last 5 months, the market has just been negative, 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 so much so that the last 6 weeks in a row have all been negative. And so these are about 10 to 15 different times when the market has been down 6 weeks or more since 1957. And what you see here is that, again, historically speaking, this paints a positive picture. So it's pretty much saying that these are all the dates here. And of those dates, we have a 3-month, 6-month, 12-month, what has actually happened after that 6-month period, or excuse me, 6-week period where the market's been down. And you see the median is positive all 3 time periods, but the big one here, of course, is the 12-month. So 12 months after the market's been down 6 weeks in a row, you see a positive 10% rate of return. So again, long story short, not going to say that we're going to see another 10% gain, because as you can see, the variability of that is pretty extreme, where you go anywhere from a negative 27% to a positive 39%. So that's the reason why I use the median. The median drops out those outliers and tries to focus on what the average of the middle ones are. And long story short, it's showing a pretty positive picture. So again, corporate earnings look really good. They've outperformed expectations, and secondarily, historically speaking, when you have 6 straight weeks of a negative S&P 500, the market tends to do pretty well. So that's my pep talk for you today. Next time we talk, I have a few ideas in mind, but if the market continues to do poorly, next one we may talk about is, do you start investing in gold? So we'll leave that as your teaser, and I look forward to the next time we speak. Thanks.